Hey, namaste, y'all. Since this iPhone foolishness takes so long, I'm starting super, super early. It's only 10:32 p.m. the night of the first, so we should be able to have a video tomorrow in the daytime. I would hope. I mean, it's really ridiculous. This is the way an iPhone works. But in any case, isn't it? It's like a $900 phone. I don't even remember how much I paid for this because it was for my daughter, and I'm so Android. You know, I've just been Android since the very first one. I had that one that used to go Droid. You know, like way back in the days, the Motorola, and I've had an Android ever since. And so this phone that I'm using now was an iPhone 7 that I had originally bought for my daughter, and then not long after she had it, she wanted the X. So I leased her the X, but like I said, I owned this one outright. So it was just sitting in a drawer, and when my phone started acting up, I needed it. In any case, I think that iPhones are like $900 phones, so I don't understand why it takes 50 hours to upload a video, a 20-minute, 30-minute video to YouTube. But I digress. Um, let's see. Will it still be a Leo moon? I didn't check that. I think it might be a Virgo moon, though. Honestly, I think we may have by this point on the second we will have moved into Virgo and be focused on home and foundation stuff for the earthly matters, maybe work, family, career, ourselves, those sort of things, which is all cool. And yeah, I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else I wanted to say about August 2nd. So let's just get right into it. We're going to start with the year 338 BC, when the Macedonian army, led by Philip II, defeats the combined forces of Athens and Thebes, or Thebes, Thebes, I think it's Thebes, in the Battle of Charonia, securing Macedonian hegemony in Greece and in Aegean. 216 BC, the Second Punic War, the Battle of Cannae, Cannae. Carthaginian army, led by Hannibal, defeats numerically superior Roman army under command consuls Lucius Aemius Paulus and Gaius Terentius Varro. And they try to change history, but that's basically when the Africans went into Italy, and how so many Sicilians are, you know, jet black. Yeah, they've tried to change history and make Hannibal white now, but I don't know what that's about. In any case, 1776 is the next one, and the formal signing of the U.S. Declaration of Independence by 56 people. 11. The date is the one most accepted by historians. This date. 1790. The U.S. conducts its first census. The population was 3,939,214. So 3939 is the first four numbers, and then 214. So that's interesting, because the 21 of the 214 is another 3. So really it's like 39394. Anyway, that number, it included 697,624 slaves. Yes, slaves. 1832, the Battle of Bad Axe, Wisconsin. 1,300 Illinois militia defeat Sauk and Fox Native Americans, ending the Black Hawk War in the United States. 1858, which is 1304 or 1111, Government of India is transferred from East India Company to the British Crown. And 2018, Apple becomes the first American public listed company to reach $1 trillion in value. Isn't it funny? I was just talking about their shitty phones. No offense to anybody else that owns one. I just think that this is ridiculous that I can't upload a video, in a decent amount of time on a phone that costs so much money. Did you know Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 is passed in America, essentially rendering marijuana and all of its products illegal? Happened on August 2nd in 1937. Famous birthdays: Pierre Charles L'Enfant, Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, Myrna Loy, Shimon Peres, James Baldwin, and Isabel Allende. Would you believe the first footage of white giraffes is posted by Hirola Conservation Program in northeastern Kenya? Happened on this day in the year 2017. So that wasn't that long ago that they discovered the first white giraffes. Famous weddings: 1882, education pioneer Booker T. Washington, 26, weds Fanny Smith. In 1904, novelist Hermann Hesse, 27, weds Maria Bernoulli. Lastly, in 1930, which is 1304, 1111, Lawrence McKinley Gould, who was 33, master number 33. He was an American geologist and a polar explorer. He wed Margaret Pegg Rice in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Famous deaths: Horace Mann, Wild Bill Hickok, Alexander Graham Bell, Warren G. Harding, Paul von Hindenburg, and William S. Burroughs. Oh, so actually I did do a video. This week. I did a video on Tuesday, on Thursday, and now this one is Friday into and through the weekend. I only sent the one on Tuesday to two of you that asked me for, just like last week, the same kind of thing. But I did get a message today, which is promising, about them hopefully like returning my tablet faster. So that should help me. And Mercury retrograde is over. Mercury went direct at 11:58, so like just before midnight on the 31st. So not today, yesterday, because today's the first, the day for which I'm doing your reading for the second. Yesterday, Mercury went direct. So, we're all good on that front. It's when I get the tablet back, things should be back to normal. We should be able to get back to normal, either way, quickly. William S. Burroughs. William Seward Burroughs II was a writer and an artist, one of the primary figures of the Beat generation, the post-war counterculture literacy movement that included Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac. Burroughs' drug addiction is reflected in his work and dominated his life. After killing his wife in the supposed William Tell game, he went on to publish his most famous work, Naked Lunch, first published in Paris in 1959. The book was initially banned on various places around the world in the 1960s. In later life, Burroughs became a well-known visual artist. He was born on February 5th in 1914 in St. Louis, Missouri, USA, and was an Aquarius. He died on August 2nd in 1997 at the age of 83 of complications from a heart attack. Paul von Hindenburg. Paul Ludwig Hans Antoine von Beckendorf und von Hindenburg was a German president and World War I general. He came to national attention in 1914 in August at the age of 66 by defeating the Russians in the decisive Battle of Tannenberg. As Germany's chief of the general staff from August 1916, Hindenburg's reputation rose greatly in German public esteem. He and his deputy, Erich Ludendorff, led Germany in a de facto military dictatorship throughout the remainder of the war, marginalizing both German Emperor William II as the German Reichstag Parliament. Okay, that doesn't seem like a complete sentence, but all right. A believer in Lebensraum ideology, Hindenburg advocated annexing territory in Poland, Ukraine, and Russia for German resettlement. Hindenburg retired again in 1919 or 11, but he returned to public life in 1925 to be elected to the second president of Germany. In 1932, although 84 years old and in poor health, he was persuaded to run for re-election as German president, as he was considered the only candidate who could defeat Adolf Hitler. which he did in a runoff. He was opposed to Hitler and was a major player in the increasing political instability in the Weimar Republic that ended with Hitler's rise to power. He dissolved the Reichstag twice in 1932 and finally, under pressure, agreed to appoint Hitler Chancellor of Germany in January of 1933. In February, he signed off on the Reichstag fire decree, which suspended various civil liberties. And in March, he signed the Enabling Act of 1933, which gave Hitler's regime arbitrary powers. Hindenburg died soon after, allowing Hitler to declare the office of president vacant and himself head of state. He was born on October 2nd in 1847, 9/11 or 11, in Posen, Duchy of Posen, Prussia, and was a Libra. He died on August 2nd in 1934 at the age of 86 of lung cancer. Warren G. Harding was the 29th U.S. president. Another 11. So many 11s on this day. He was a Republican. He had been senator from Ohio and lieutenant governor from Ohio prior. His presidential term went from March 4th in 1921 to August 2nd in 1923. He was preceded by Woodrow Wilson and succeeded by Calvin Coolidge. He was the 29th president of the United States, only in office for 2 years until his death. He's often ranked among the worst presidents. Following his death in 1923, several scandals came to light, primarily the controversy over the Teapot Dome oil reserves and revelations about his extramarital affairs. He appointed several well-known figures to his cabinet, and in 1922, the major powers agreed on naval limitations at the Washington Conference, a significant post-war achievement. He was born on November 2nd, 11/11, in 1865. 11. In Blooming Grove, Ohio, USA, and was a Scorpio. He died on August 2nd in 1923 at the age of 57 of a heart attack or stroke. They are unsure. Alexander Graham Bell was an inventor, American, Canadian, and Scottish. He's credited with inventing the first practical telephone. Isn't that funny? I talked about the Apple phone, and then Apple showed up, and the phone in general showed up. Anyway, he's considered, he considered his most famous invention an intrusion on his real work as a scientist. However, he refused to have a telephone in his study. He was born on March 3rd in 1847, another 9/11 or 11. And March 3rd is 3/3, so it's like 3311, in Edinburgh, Scotland, and was a Pisces. He died on August 2nd in 1922 at the age of 75 of complications from diabetes. Wild Bill Hickok was really named James Butler Hickok, and he was a folk hero of the American Old West. Skilled as a gunfighter, involved in several notable shootouts, and a gambler, along with his reputation as a lawman, provided the basis for his enduring fame. He fought and spied for the Union Army during the American Civil War and gained publicity after the war as a scout, marksman, actor, and professional gambler. He was born on May 27th in 1837 in Troy Grove, Illinois, USA, and was a Gemini. He died on August 2nd in 1876, which is another 13/4 or 11/11, at the age of 39 of a gunshot wound. Horace Mann was the father of American education, arguing that universal public education was the best way to turn the nation's unruly children into disciplined, judicious, Republican citizens. He won widespread approval for building public schools. Most states adopted one version or another of the system that he established. He was born on May 4th in 1796 in Franklin, Massachusetts, USA, and was a Taurus. He died on August 2nd in 1859 at the age of 63. Going back up to the birthdays, those were the deaths. Isabel Allende is a writer, American and Chilean. She's dubbed the world's most widely read Spanish language author. best known for such commercially successful novels as The House of Spirits or La Casa de los Espíritus. Mm. That was written in 1982. And City of the Beasts, La Ciudad de las Bestias, 2002. In addition to her career as a renowned author, she has devoted much of her life to human rights, establishing the Isabel Allende Foundation in 1996 to promote and protect women's rights. She was born on August 2nd in 1942 in Lima, Peru, and is 77 years old, a horse on the Chinese zodiac, and a Leo. James Baldwin was fully named James Arthur Baldwin. He was a novelist and a playwright, American, famous for Go Tell It on the Mountain and The Fire Next Time. He's famous for a lot more than that. He was born on August 2nd in 1924 in Harlem, New York, USA, and was a rat on the Chinese zodiac and a Leo. He died on November 30th in 1987 at the age of 63 of esophageal cancer. And speaking of public schools, there's a public school in New York here named after him in Chelsea. I went to this big school called Humanities. It was like one of the old-fashioned large high schools that we used to have in New York. When Bloomberg came, he chopped up all those schools and put like a bunch of several like little schools in them. So one of the little schools that he put into Humanities was James Baldwin. Sean Wayans went to Humanities with me. We were in the same grade and he dated my friend. They lived in the projects right behind our school. So that's a bit of trivia. Who am I up to here? Shimon Peres, Israeli statesman, the 9th president of Israel from 2007 to 2014. He also served twice as Israeli prime minister and twice as interim prime minister. In a political career spanning nearly 70 years, and I had already noticed some sevens because he was president from 2007 to 2014, so that's like 7 plus 7 equals 14. And then he was president for 70 years, another 7. He was a member of 12 Israeli cabinets with Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO, leaders Yitzhak Rabin and Yasser Arafat. Peres won the 1994 Nobel Peace Prize for peace talks that led to the Oslo Accords. He was the Israeli foreign prime minister at the time. He was born on August 2nd in 1923 in Vishneva, Belarus, and was a Leo. Leo. And he died on September 28th in 2016 at the age of 93 of a stroke. He was a Leo. Lord have mercy. Myrna Loy was an actress, American. She was trained as a dancer and devoted herself fully to an acting career following a few minor roles in silent films. She was originally typecast in exotic roles, often as a vamp or a woman of Asian descent. But her career prospects improved greatly following her portrayal of Nora Charles, yikes, in The Thin Man in 1934. She was born on August 2nd in 1905 in Helena, Montana, USA, and was a Leo. She died on December 14th at the age of 88. Frederick Auguste Bartholdi was a sculptor, French. He designed the Statue of Liberty to mark the Franco-American Alliance in 1778. He raised money in both France and the United States for the New York landmark. He also created the Lion of Belfort, which is carved out of red sandstone in France. He was born on August 2nd in 1834 in Colmar, France, and was a Leo. He died on October 4th in 1904 at the age of 70 of tuberculosis. And lastly, Pierre Charles L'Enfant. He was the architect of Washington, D.C., also French. Architect and civil engineer, best known for designing the layout of the streets of Washington, D.C., the L'Enfant Plan. He was born on August 2nd in 1754 in Annette, France, and was a Leo. He died on June 14th, Flag Day, in 1825 at the age of 70. And he was the last. So, going to the dice, we're starting with it's 50-50, cocktail and massage. Spirit still says cocktail, and it's Friday, so perfect time for cocktail. Weekend away, which it said the day before too, although I realize most of you don't know that because you didn't get to see the reading. If you want to, of course, you're welcome. I will happily send it to you. And forget it. Now, with the cards, we're starting with the Ace of Summer, which is awesome, right? That's a new, emotionally fulfilling beginning. And I saw like a story leading up to this when I was shuffling. Like I saw the Three of Swords, then the Four of Swords, right? So it's like the past hurt, and then the recovery with the Four of Swords, and then some other stuff going on with our home family foundations with the Four of Pentacles, and there was something else that made me feel that way. I don't remember what the other things were. But, ultimately leading up to this Ace of Summer. So, long story short, it's a happy ending. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. And opening to the 10 of Winter. See, the end of a difficulty or fucked up situation, period of betrayal, loss, hurt, whatever that was, it's over. The end of a career path, project, or relationship. It brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put away or aside these fears and trust that a brighter future awaits. Ace of Summer. Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit. Take time for contemplation, to retreat, and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. Both the Ace of Summer and the Hermit actually can be super spiritual. The Ace of Summer can be about awakening and ascension and all that too. It doesn't necessarily, which is emotionally fulfilling and spiritually fulfilling. That may even be more important, than some other new start. In the 3D, a new start spiritually and new consciousness, I think, is more valuable. In any case, opening to Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, or the Fool, about a brand new path. You're starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. Dreamer and the 5 of Winter. But this funky stuff is over. So this might be in your own head. Like you may have ended a relationship or job or all those things that listed as potential, things that may have happened. And now this could be you like thinking about it or overthinking about it or being, feeling conflicted. Did I do the right thing? All that sort of thing. Or, being afraid to take this leap of faith now. Like, okay, now that I've done that, now what? Like there's a next step. Are you ready to take it? It's that sort of thing. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. Dreamer and the Prince of Summer. Romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. He is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Or, for me, the Knight of Cups is often somebody that's returning to our life like that we know from before. We may have dated them already, but it doesn't mean necessarily we did date them already, but we know them already. So maybe it's a friend coming back and maybe you can develop into something more. All kinds of possibilities with this. And again, it's Friday, right? It's Friday night, so hashtag turn up. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced. Make decisions with both your heart and your head, your intellect. Could be about an emotional new path or a romantic new path, right? Maybe somebody, like I said, you never dated before. Here's one of the fours that I saw earlier. You know, you guys know what this four means to me. It's like, it can mean many, many different things. All right, for one, we could be holding on too tightly to something, perhaps the past. That might be why the five of swords is showing up for us, opposite, like, you know, our new opportunity. Let go of the past and take your leap of faith forward. You know, that's one thing. It can be about a job or a relationship or something that, you know, maybe we haven't made it to the 10 of swords yet. Maybe we're inching our way there because we're just figuring, I hate this job. I hate this relationship. Like, why am I in it? And we're still in it. So we got to get out. Also, somebody could be doing that to us. Somebody else could be, you know, making us feel stifled. You know, like we can't get up and go. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. Dreamer or the Fool. And we've come to Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. Overall energy is the Prince of Winter, decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. Like, so if you've been stuck in a funky energy or whatever, just limbo, air of suspension, you're about to be unstuck and things are going to pick up for you again. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Prince of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Crowning the masculine. The 8 of Autumn. It's the perfect time for you to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. Masculine, surrounded by the 9 of Autumn. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much-deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. So this is you, feeling comfortable, living comfortably, at least to the extent that you're not paranoid and flustered on this day. Maybe you're thinking about taking some sort of class or something and you can afford to. Whether it's time or money, whatever, like you can afford to. You're in a place where you're at peace and content, and so you can put energy toward making an effort towards something. Maybe something from your past coming up again. A job you wanted to do, a business you wanted to start, right? You want to become an entrepreneur. It's your chance. The loving care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams, which is more like what it looks like with the 8 and 9 of Autumn. They can be revived. Feminine. Crowning the feminine. Nice. The Ace of Spring. A wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may come as a surprise, but you'll still need to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. And look at the moon there. So it's something that the Leo moon is probably bringing you, which again was today. Started like Mercury going direct like a few minutes before midnight yesterday, 7:31. So today was the first full day in that Leo new moon energy. But here we have all the fire. So that's the Leo. And then we have this crescent. That's definitely like a new moon. So I think that's what's blessing us with that gift. New opportunity. Feminine surrounded by, wow, the Prince of Spring, passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. The Prince of Spring is a Leo, not a Pisces. Well, maybe a Pisces for some reason. But it shouldn't be a Pisces. The Prince of Spring is not a Pisces. The Prince of Spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. But maybe something is going on with a Pisces too. Or maybe he's the Prince of Spring, right? Because somebody likened to those traits or attributes. He's not a fire sign, but he is who comes to your rescue, right? He's your Prince Charming, possibly. Feminine subconscious. Whoa. The King of Spring. Inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring is also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And there's another moon here. So we're really getting this very strong energy. I think this huge blessing from the recent, or today, Leo new moon. Black moon. Meaning it's the second new moon this month. Not this month, August. This month, July. Because we had one in the beginning of the month, and with the Cancer new moon, and then July 31st. Crowning. Very nice. Major Arcana card 17, the Star, which represents the planet Uranus in the sign of Aquarius. Prayers, dreams, wishes coming true, being granted, being manifested. Very nice. You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism. Fear with hope. And joy is coming home to roost. Foundation. From where did we start? Strength. Just having the strength, the ability, the courage to weather the storms, to face whatever came your way. And now it's just like, who won it with with me, right? You don't want to catch this fade, because we're like ready here. That was the foundation. That's from where we started. And so that's made it possible for all this other energy to come. Because once you had the confidence, right? The confidence, the courage, then all of this was able to come in. If we had been sitting in a place of fear, then this is not the energy that would come in. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power. So you have the ability to do those things too, should that come up in your life. To forgive somebody, to show somebody some compassion, some fairness. And at the heart of the matter, boom, the 10 of Autumn. Contentment comes from knowing that your families, that's not what it says, not families, your finances, rather, are secure. And your families, okay, that's down there, material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So there could be some sort of money coming in. Maybe, somebody's parent is able to give them a loan or has left them some money, and that's enabling them to start some business on their own, or that's enabling them to feel, content and at peace. It's something from the past, or they're showing up with this 6 of Summer because it's connected to their childhood. It's their parent that left them something. That's what I'm getting on the masculine side in particular. So they may be an heir to something. 10 of Autumn can often be about, like a lump sum, an inheritance, a legacy, right? So something having to do with, maybe even property or whatever. And I see that more so on the masculine side. On the feminine side, could definitely be connected to a job, a bonus, or just a flow, some sort of something that enables you, that like opens the door opening, opens the door, a pathway to you being able to pursue in a real way, a very passionate way, like real opportunity. You know, this is not like a fly by night. This is like real, like genuine opportunity. And maybe even to assume a leadership role, right? You can be the boss somewhere, bringing home the bacon, feeding the family, right? Being able to be responsible for everyone around you. So that's pretty awesome. It could even be something like winning sometimes when you see this. I mean, those things don't happen to us as often, right? The odds, you know, there's statistics and odds and stuff that come into play with that. But it can even be like, you know, you scratch off ticket or something. Further advice to the masculine. The King of Winter. Intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly. Be objective and unemotional. Act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. The King of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and often, yes, is a professional. So maybe he's a realtor, a lawyer, a judge, or something. You know, you're signing some sort of contract. He's your boss. You're getting money. You know, he's the one that's handling the estate. He's doling out what's yours. You know, it's all those kind of things are possible. Or he's a really, really good friend with a good head on his shoulders that you can go to and say, listen, I'm trying to start a business. Help me write a business plan or something like that. For the feminine, the Princess of Winter. Logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. The Princess of Winter is an Aquarius, perhaps like the star, Gemini or Libra, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, like the king over here. But since pages bring information and the feminine is surrounded by all this opportunity, I think that she's receiving some sort of news, again, that enables her to take some sort of action and to pursue something that she's been wanting. But let's pull another card in clarification of the Princess of Winter, or Page of Swords, because the Page of Swords can mean so many things. It's boom. It's more of this fire energy, and it's more positivity. It's more happy ending. And I think that, again, the Page is bringing us news that opens up an opportunity for us in a huge way. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun, represents the sign of fire sign Sagittarius. However, Earth's star, the Sun, the one that heats this planet, at least for now it's still working, we haven't completely killed it, rules the sign of Leo. So definitely there could be a fire sign involved in the mix, particularly of the feminine. And I would say, first and foremost, a Leo, and then a Sag second, Aries last. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the daily reading. It's the daily, the weekend, and the Friday through the weekend. I'll be back with the weeklies over the weekend. Namaste.